why such severe labels were being applied so carelessly, especially while the scenario was still unconfirmed. As people became aware of how quickly someone's reputation may be tarnished without any hard proof, the debate changed from interest to unease. There looked to be increasing pressure behind the scenes, and speculating that legal teams, that statements were being prepared, or that some maintained on purpose to prevent the situation from, while some had a whole different. The narrative was so complicated that even devoted followers found it difficult to keep these that piled up, each more dramatic than the previous. The most striking thing was how emotionally connected people became. Several fans showed sincere welfare, stating that they hoped she was some experience they thought was being used to garner publicity. Acknowledged that they felt encircled by, didn't know, only that the back and forth was tiresome. The narrative progresses from friends, family, and business insiders became a focal point. People kept a close eye on who liked which post, who followed or unfollowed whom, and who remained mute. Every tiny digital activity was read as a hint. Even the lack of a response was considered significant. The atmosphere became so tense that even impartial witnesses felt compelled to take a side, as though silence itself was speaking volumes. Remaining silent was perceived as apathy. Challenging the story was perceived as justifying misconduct, and accepting the rumor outright was perceived as leaping to conclusions. The scenario was even more disconcerting because there was no winning viewpoint, simply differing degrees of criticism. How easily the human element was overlooked. Real individuals with real feelings were hidden under the trendy issues and headlines. However, that was rarely reflected in the debate, which instead concentrated on shock value and whatever version of the tale would receive more views, clicks, and engagement. As the narrative shifted from being about the truth to being about traction, some viewers started to back off and raise awkward questions. Why do rumors like this spread so quickly? Why do people assume the worst? And why is quiet always seen as a sign of guilt? These queries remained in comment sections, frequently overshadowed by louder, more combative remarks, opinions, but they persisted. The story continued to change as the outdated days. New perspectives emerged, old ones were disregarded, and the focus continued to shift. But the central question of the narrative remained unanswered, with just conjecture placed on top of confirmation and denial. There was an odd sense of tension, as though everyone was waiting for a revelation or speech that would ultimately provide clarity. However, rather than providing clarity, the situation just became more convoluted, with each attempt at explanation seemingly leading to additional questions. By now, it was becoming more difficult to distinguish between fact and rumor, and every effort to diffuse the situation appeared to fuel it even more. It wasn't simply about what was said or who said it. The story had grown beyond anyone's initial expectations. It was about how rapidly a story can go out of control once it enters the digital realm. It was about how easily public opinion can change based on bits of information, and how emotion becomes the most powerful voice when facts are lacking. Flooded the room, and as the din grew louder, one thing became more and more clear. This was not at all over. The questions remained unanswered, the tension continued to rise, and the next step, whatever it was, seemed to have the potential to completely alter everything. As the discussion continued, an odd alteration started to occur. The sound didn't go away, but it took on a different form, with softer reactions taking the place of explosive ones. It's the kind of tension that develops when people realize they might have gone too far but are unsure of how to turn things around. The same voices that had hurried to remarks suddenly began to soften their tone, supplementing their claims with terms like "if this is true" and "apparently." Everyone seemed to suddenly realize that none of this had been verified, but the harm had already begun. Screenshots kept making the rounds, edited in ways that altered their meaning, and little pieces were replayed without context. Becoming everyday, even facial expressions were examined frame by frame as if feelings. Fans everywhere are asking the same thing as the internet explodes tonight. What is Tamar Braxton's true situation? Tamar has tested positive for HIV, according to stunning headlines and viral posts that have taken across social media in recent hours. However, prior to let's be very clear, if anyone makes snap judgments, all of this has not been formally verified. These are rumors, hearsay, and internet assertions that have unexpectedly taken over gossip pages, blogs, and comment sections. However, when Mendeecees' name was brought up, the situation became much more dire. Into the discussion, insider rumors and numerous viral articles claim that Mendeecees responded in a way that nobody anticipated. According to online sources, he became enraged and accused Tamar of lying, and even using the startling term hooker woman in an allegedly heated trade. Once more, these are unverified rumors that are making the rounds online. But that hasn't stopped the internet from taking off. Fans were taken aback. Emotions were running high. Anger filled timelines in a matter of minutes. Bewilderment and incredulity. No woman deserves to have her health turned into entertainment. Some hastened to defend Tamar. Some questioned the timing of the rumors, speculating that there might be more going on behind the scenes. Then there were some who thought all of this was a part of a larger drama. Tension is created by twisting and reshaping a story. What made the situation even more, the story circulated so quickly that it was intense. Hundreds of posts resulted from only one. One remark became a full-fledged charge. Suddenly, a private matter, whether true or rumored, became a public spectacle. Fans started posing awkward queries. Was someone telling lies? Was someone being set up? Or was this just another instance of social media making news out of whispers? One thing became evident as the emotions kept rising. This wasn't merely rumors. No longer. This had become a major topic with the potential to permanently alter relationships, public opinion, and reputations. Additionally, the story got messier as more people spoke. Like most things on the internet, the incident started out softly. Storms occasionally have a few posts that people quickly scan over without giving them much thought. However, after a few hours, the tone moved. Screenshots emerged from whispers. Captions created from screenshots. Additionally, captions evolved into full-fledged charges that circulated throughout timelines. Fans began observing well-known figures being pulled into the dialogue. Furthermore, the tale had already taken on a life of its own before anyone could confirm anything. In the middle of everything was no one anticipated to see attached to her. People weren't just chatting anymore. They were reacting emotionally, taking sides and making judgments based on bits of data that lacked a reliable source, which made the situation feel even more dire. As the story solidified, some pages started asserting that Tamar had tested positive for HIV, while others maintained that insider information was the source. However, the rumors spread more quickly than the facts could, and no official announcement, medical report, or direct confirmation ever materialized. Fans who had followed her career for years couldn't comprehend how such a serious charge could be thrown around. And comment sections were filled with shock, incredulity, and rage. Casually, while some appeared willing to believe anything as long as it sounded serious enough, gained momentum, and Mendeecees' name was abruptly dragged into the frenzy. First, nobody understood why he was being brought up at all. However, a fresh round of posts surfaced, alleging that he had responded to the rumors in private and that his reaction was everything but composed. These internet rumors indicate that he was incensed, accused Tamar of lying, and allegedly using language that startled even devoted viewers of reality TV dramas. The term hooker woman began to recur frequently in voiceover videos, images, and captions, but no confirmed audio or even though the footage was verified to have come straight from him.